Hi boys and girls, today's video got hijacked by the fact that I'm old and my memory is going away. You see, today's video was supposed to be us putting together the front end of the truck, mocking it up with the fenders and the core support and all that good stuff, and then this happened. I can't believe I forgot this. I went over there and got the fender and the core support off the wall. That's a very pregnant misfit. When I moved them, I realized, oh yeah, I bought a new set of body mounts 4 or 5 years ago. And the entire intention is we need to put them on the truck. Now that being said, it'd probably be better to put these on the truck before we start working on the body lines and all that stuff, I'm assuming. So I guess today we're gonna talk about body mounts.
I got a body you can mount.
I'll be right back. Alright, so the kit that I bought is actually just a bushing set. And it looks like this. Comes with 6 bushings. Now, technically 12 because there are 6 bottoms and 6 tops. Now I understand, all of these descriptions might be specific to this particular bushing kit. So your results may vary, but I promise you, if you get a bushing kit without all the hardware, the process is going to be basically the same. Now you'll notice there is a metal ring around the part that goes on the frame mount. So what that means is that this is not going to wear out quite as fast as the bushing on the factory mount, theoretically. Now, that being said, there are 6 bottoms that are exactly identical. The bottom has a curved edge on one side and a flat edge on the other side. And the curved edge is where your washer needs to go, or your, I don't know, backer plate, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's called. Now, I will say that the factory mount has a small metal ring that's molded into it. I don't know if I'm going to reuse those because it's, I don't know how to make them stay in the right spot, because once you put it on, it's going to move around. It's got way more play than I would feel comfortable with. But I don't know if that's going to affect the longevity of the body mount or not, so we'll find out. Now, the 6 bottoms are totally identical. The 6 tops, however, are different. You have 4 that have an opening like that, and I don't know if it's just this kit or if it's typical of cheap aftermarket kits from eBay. I assume that's where I bought these from, but you've got that opening with the metal ring. You've got a tapered top on it, and I'll explain why shortly. I will say that there is a difference with 4 of the 6 body mounts on the frame due to the fact that there's a flat spot right there and right there. And there's a flat spot on the sides of the protrusion that goes through the frame mount. Now, the aftermarket kit, like I said, is perfectly round, which means it has tolerances that are small going forward and backward, but it moves probably about 1/4 of an inch. So I don't know if that's going to be beneficial or detrimental, but we're going to find out. Now there's 4 of these. Now there's 2 of these. These are much smaller, but they still use the same bottoms. Now you'll notice the smaller one does not have an oblong hole like the larger ones do. The larger ones go under your core support and under the front of the cab. The back of the cab has a perfectly round hole that is where the body mount goes, and it does not have the flat sides on the holes the way that I showed you with the core support. So the smaller one goes in the smaller hole, which is at the back of the truck. All right, now to put these together, this is the factory unit for the back of the cab. Basically, you've got to, might take a pair of pliers, twist that around, pull that off. Now you've got your metal disc. That's going to go up against your cab. From that point forward, you're going to take the top side, or the top side of the mount, which is the one with the metal ring in it, put it in. That goes between the cab and the frame. Then you're going to put that under the frame. Put that washer on it. Bolt it to the truck. Now understand, later in life we're going to have to pull this truck apart again, and when we do that, that's when I'll clean up all these bolts and the metal pieces on the body mounts, make them look less ugly. Now let's talk about these bolts, because the 4 bolts under the cab are 15 millimeter. Boop. But the 2 on the core support, well, they're different. I got to give the engineers over at GM a little bit of credit for this design, because this bolt head is also a 15 millimeter, and you can access it right here with a deep well socket, but that's only provided that your grill is already removed from the truck. Now you don't have to take the truck apart to replace the body mount, because at the other end of the bolt there is an 8 millimeter bolt head. So you could throw a 8 millimeter socket on this and bring the nut down, or take it off and put it back on with an 8 millimeter socket. Now, that being said, the reason they did this is because that gives you some adjustment room. So you could take this core support, set it in place, slide it forward and backwards depending on what you need, or side to side depending on what you need, and get your body panels lined up properly. Of course, we're going to have to hold off on putting nuts on these, because I don't know where they are. Apparently I lost my nuts. Probably happened a few years ago, right about the time I got married. Totally irrelevant to this situation, though. Now, the 6 of you have seen me by myself, using nothing but a chain hoist, take this cab off the truck and put it back on probably somewhere between 6,000 and 12,000 times. And every single time I set that cab down on the frame, it's in the right spot. Not a lot of adjustments have to be made. Let me tell you the secret to that. I take the front body mount and mount it, or just set it in the hole on the frame mount. So it sits there. It's not bolted to anything. The back body mount, however, is bolted very loosely to the cab. So it sits at the bottom of the cab like this. Once you get the bolt lined up, then it's easy to find the hole, because remember, that's a perfectly round body mount protrusion. So that protrusion sticks through the frame mount, and it's easy to line it up. And as long as you got both of these back ones done like that, the front ones are automatically going to land in the right spot. Now, obviously, my engine mounts are not fully assembled. So that's going to make a difference between what I'm doing and what you might be doing if your truck is fully assembled. But my recommendation, if your truck is fully assembled, I would say loosen all 6 body mounts, and I mean loosen them considerably. That will allow you to do this. Now, then, do your body mounts one at a time, just like we're about to do. I've still got to okay, got it loose. I've still got to take out the old body bushing and put in the new one. Alright, we got that done. The new one is in place. We might have to, matter of fact, let me go get my pliers. Alright, got a big pair of chin locks. Got that out. No, that ain't coming. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I won't have to put that in a vise. Oh, good night. Alright. Let's see what it's going to take to get the old bushing off the cup. Ah, that's easier. There you go. Break it loose on 2 sides. And that'll pop the bushing free from the cup, apparently. There we go. Beautiful. Getting old sucks. Of course, they tell me it's better than the alternative. Alright, we're gonna put that together like that. That's pretty good. So we got that. Now, we're gonna set this down. Put the bolt in the cupped washer. Make sure that our bottom is set the right way. Alright, that one is started. Of course, now we did not start the back one because the cab was still in the air. But now we can do that. Uh-oh. Oh, dumbass. Huh. Let's see what we get there. Alright. Got a little bit there. Not very much. because the cab's still off the ground, but let's get this one started good before we drop that cab back down. Now, cab is on the frame, body mounts are loose. There we go. Yeah, baby. That's good. Stay. Now we're going to have to deal with the core support in the video where we start mocking up the front end. Obviously, because we need that compression on the body mounts. But between now and then, I've got to find my nuts. And I'm pretty sure they're in a Ziploc bag, either on that shelf over there or back here in the workshop, because that's where all that stuff was put. Meanwhile, if you're one of the 6 people that are still watching this video, please like it, make sure you're subscribed, and comment. More importantly, with a positive comment. Apparently, the new algorithm can tell the difference between a positive comment and a negative one. And let's be honest, if you're watching a mini truck channel, there's a good chance you're into mini trucks. And we need to stick together. Peace, love, and mini trucks.